Hello, I'm Victoria Miles. I'm Chief Executive at Northamptonshire Community Foundation. I'm here to introduce the film about Food Poverty Network here in Northamptonshire. And a little bit of background here for you about how we met the donor who funded the work that you're about to see. He came to us a couple of years ago and had a decent amount of money to distribute via the Community Foundation, and was very interested in alleviating food poverty, was quite keen to become involved in that. He donated to the foundation. The money has allowed so many groups to come together and to look at the issue around food poverty and how that sadly has grown across our county. The money has enabled so many great things to happen, and I hope that you will sit back and enjoy and see the difference that the work that he has funded has taken place.
There'll always be people who lose their job, who get made redundant, who have got into debt, but the amount of people that are struggling just to get by on a basic level is really surprising.
Most of our work is supporting people who are in poverty for whatever reason, whether it's food or fuel poverty, or whether it's just poverty of lifestyle and poverty of habit, poverty of relationships. And sad to say, Rushden is full of hundreds and hundreds of people who would be in poverty in one way or another.
I didn't realise that we had food banks here in the UK. You hear about food banks in different situations across the the world itself, but one large at here, I didn't realise that we had food banks, but I'm glad we do.
We're seeing people come in with families with children that are literally starving. To see a child with a fresh banana and to eat it and to literally shove it down as if they haven't eaten for a week is heartbreaking to see things like that.
1/5 of people in England were having to borrow money or not choose to pay bills to be able to provide food for their families. So it's obviously a widespread problem, and it's affecting more people than we realise.
I actually employed as a family support worker based around health, but also I took part in a 6-month project working around food poverty and educating parents and children, looking at families budgeting, making them more aware of food, cooking on a budget, leftover cookery courses, as well as sort of educating them about gardening and how cheap it is to grow their own vegetables. We were lucky enough to have get the plot of land just outside the centre, so we've sort of turned it into a mini allotment.
Well, basically we're growing food together, so as the year has gone on, we've planted, well, first of all we talked about what we wanted to grow. We created the garden from scratch. It was just bare grass before. Filled the beds with soil, we planted seeds, and as the time's gone on, we've looked after those plants, we've watered them, we've fed them when they've needed it, we've tied them up when they've needed it, and in the last few months we've been picking those things together. They get a huge amount of enjoyment out of it, seeing the children run around and being outside and kind of exploring the natural environment and getting the chance to taste things. So even when the parents aren't perhaps brave enough to taste a vegetable they've never had before, that the children are often quite keen to have a go and taste things.
We run a youth group here as well, and even they've started taking notice and actually asking if they can have a plot of land to do some work as well. The parents who attend the groups, quite often they want to come back and do it again because they've benefited so much.
I see a lot of people who don't have a family support network that can help them when they're in a crisis. They're on their own, and their food parcel is really needed by them because they haven't got any extended people that can help them out. We see a lot of families as well, particularly people who have got small children and are able maybe to give them a little bit of food but aren't able to support themselves very well. And they also just like to befriend people, sit and talk with them, offer them a cup of tea, coffee, a little snack, and have a chat, be a listening ear. And if they know of somewhere the client can go to get a bit more help, then they'll signpost them onto there.
Here we support people in food poverty, financial crisis, people with learning difficulties. We also support people with substance misuse problems, benefits issues. We support as many people as we can, and we signpost them to the local partner agencies that we work with to make sure that they're getting the right support from the right people. We provide free meals here for people that are in financial difficulties or poverty. The numbers coming through our doors for free meals has increased, and also the numbers through the food bank is going up month on month.
On a day-to-day basis, we're extremely busy. Most of the time we don't know who is going to be arriving. I have to go and make sure I get stock. I have to do some PR work. I have to go around and involve all the communities in all cultures and all faiths. We do daily parcels, we do single, we do bed and breakfast, we do a rough sleeper parcel, and we do a family parcel as well. Storage is a bit of a problem. We're constantly rotating the food around, and also trying to recruit volunteers also takes an awful lot of time as well. The public are very, very generous, and also all the churches in Wellingborough have all donated as well and continue to donate.
I think the hidden hunger across the Northamptonshire is starting to, people are becoming more aware of that. There's been a lot of media attention in the last few months or over the last year. So maybe people wouldn't be surprised that there are food banks, but actually the reality is we've got over 9,000 children living in poverty in Northampton, and that means that they are not getting nutritional valued food and meals each day. So it is right here on our doorstep. Alongside the food bank, we're trying to look at ways of helping people not only just have a hand out in that moment of crisis, but also have a hand up. So we're expanding our projects, and one new project we've got going will be an allotment, where we'll be teaching individuals how to grow their own fruit and vegetables and become a bit more self-sufficient, and giving them skills also to be cooking those things from fresh ingredients. Up until very recently, we've relied completely on donations from individuals, which can come through churches or businesses or just people popping in and wanting to donate. But just in the last month, we've secured a contract with Sainsbury's, Wincanton, and are able to get some of their surplus goods, things that are slightly damaged, and if they're in good enough condition, we can pass them on to the general public.
The work here really has grown up around our work that started with the night shelter, and then of course we began to realise that people had lots broader issues than just homelessness, and so we've got into food poverty, supporting people with lifestyle, habit, addiction problems, mental health services, you name it. We support a whole range of people now, but all around the sort of the poverty issue really. We have a drop-in cafe four mornings a week where folks can come and access help, get help and support, find friends, and then also make the referrals into the food bank system. We've actually had a food bank running now for about the last 3 years, and then we add on that, we do lots of other supplies of other items, bread items, fresh food items, clothing, articles for housing, you name it. We'll recycle anything and pass it on to folks who are in need. Families, single people as well, people coming through from broken backgrounds, broken circumstances. We have seen a steady increase going up, so it sort of goes up month by month really. The need and what we get in is we're coming to that critical point of balance, and actually we're probably running out of sources and supply. Our main source is actually Sainsbury's main warehouse. But then also we do get supplies out from the community, just individuals, people just popping in, local community groups that will save up and collect stuff, yeah, just like other food banks.
All of the food banks and other agencies working towards combating food poverty are joined together, that we can share good practice, good ideas, resources, and that's really helpful for targeting our work and making sure that we're making the most of the people and the resources that we've got. It also means that we're on top of new information coming through, funding, stuff that's happening in the political world and media world, that we're keeping on top of all of that. It's really helpful to join together and work together across Northamptonshire rather than each town doing its own thing.
Well, it's nice to meet up once a month with other people who are doing the same kind of work in and around Northamptonshire, and because you can feel quite isolated, and just kind of getting ideas for other things that you can offer.
It's just a way of getting to know what other food banks are doing, offering up ideas of how we can make things easier for each other, offering support and advice if we can, possibility of getting volunteers from each other and just sharing ideas. So any kind of support that you can get in this kind of situation that we're in is always invaluable.
I really think we need to all work together in Northamptonshire, all the food banks working together, so that we can sort of, more is better than less, so that we can probably get some more donors, like hitting the supermarkets more, instead of one or two dribbling through. Maybe we could go as a massive group and try and get a lot of these supermarkets and donators on board so that we can keep our stocks going, so that we don't run out of food to give to people and families.
Yeah, that has been a real core part of our support, really, in terms of helping us to link in with others, to learn from others, to grow with others, and also to get resource, help, advice and encouragement all the way along. So that's really been a core part of helping the food bank be what it is today.
We've seen a dramatic increase, about a six-fold increase since last September. There are several things that contribute to the increase in demand. Some of it is undoubtedly welfare changes, although I'm not going to get into the politics of that. But also we're working closely with about 80 agencies across Northampton, so our awareness of what the food bank does and how we can support people has grown over the last year.
But the main reason why people are coming to get parcels is because benefits are being stopped with no warning and no budgeting skills and in debt and being hit by obviously the bedroom tax as well. So we're having sort of consequences of that with the people coming through the door.
Certainly the change in benefits and the strict operation of how some of those benefits are worked through, and so that has really pushed things. And I think just the general decline in people's circumstances because of all the economic things on a larger worldwide scale that's actually hitting people locally.
Through the food bank they've seen a big increase of people in poverty. I think a lot of that is down to things like bedroom tax that has now been put onto people. Even though they're trying to move out of their properties, they're still having to pay the extra bedroom tax because there's nowhere for them to move on to, so that's putting them under the breadline and their income now is just not enough for them to survive on.
Because of the recession, it's because of redundancies. On top of that, you've got people with ill health. So that's what's bringing a lot of people to the food banks, along with homelessness.
I actually get lost for words when I think about the amount of people that need to come to a food bank at the moment.
The work is growing because the need, I think not only is the need growing, but we're getting better at getting under the surface and finding those people who are in need. And so I think there's two reasons for the growth. One is, yes, I think there's more people falling into poverty, but I think also we're getting now better at finding and helping and supporting all of those people who are actually in poverty. And again, we're just finding more and more people locked behind closed doors, and hopefully we're getting to open their doors, open their lives a bit and begin to work with them. But again, we're just finding more and more people who've just been locked away for whatever reason.